So I wrote this paper in my senior year of high school for U.S. history and da 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 da. Anyways, it was supposed to be a first-person narrative of a U.S. soldier in World War One. And you know how when people die, their bowels release? I wrote about that. And the teacher, he's like, Zach, did you think this was a joke? And I was like, no, of course not. And I was like, but when you read it, click on the link, that link, and read it in that voice in your head. And so he started reading it aloud to the class to, I don't know, maybe make me feel bad or embarrass me. And I was like, no. You're delivering it all wrong. And I was like, let me read it. So this is how I read it.
As I walked through the desolation that the battle caused, I saw dead bodies everywhere, corpses on top of corpses. The amount of loss.
Holy hell.
The amount of loss I saw there could not be counted. The smell of death was in the air. The gunpowder that littered the air made my eyes water uncontrollably. The dead bodies made my eyes burn even worse from the smell of what their bowels released after death. The feces smelled so bad that I could taste it. Even after breathing through my mouth, I could still smell it. My God, it was awful.
Oh, my throat. That does not feel good.
It only got worse the farther I got. There was no escaping it. It was unavoidable. I found my friend dead on the ground. I walked up to him to see if there was any chance he was still alive, but he wasn't, and I got his excrement all over my hand. No matter how hard I wiped my hand on the ground, it was still there. There was nothing I could do about it. This war has taken a toll on all of us, especially me, because of all the feces I was forced to witness and smell. It was disgusting. I tried grabbing the poor souls' dog tags to bring them to their families, but it was virtually impossible to do without getting excrement on my hands. As soon as I grabbed a few dog tags, the enemy started. As soon as I grabbed a few of their dog tags, the enemy started coming back to fight again. I tried running for my life, but they managed to shoot me in my shoulder. It felt like I had been stabbed with a burning hot knife as it pierced me. It barely missed my bone and went straight through me, out the other side.
Sorry, my throat is in a lot of pain right now from this.
It barely missed my bone. It went through me and out the other side. The adrenaline going through my veins enabled me to keep running, but I didn't know how much longer I could keep it up. I kept running until my legs gave out. When they finally did, I managed to get one final leap the rest of the way back into the trench. That final leap kept me alive, kept me going, it kept me fighting. But I wasn't sure if I could continue living after all I had witnessed. All the feces. Everywhere. Even from the trench, I could still smell it. I could feel its moist, squishy texture on my hands. I could still see the variety of colors it came in. All my senses that kept me alive all these years were now my greatest enemies. They made it so I could never forget this day. I could never forget all the horror I had witnessed that came from people's bowels. It was a horrifying thing to remember. But I knew...
Kill me.
But I knew I had to keep going for all my friends and family back home. The ones that didn't die a horrible death and release their bowels in the middle of the battlefield. The ones that were still clean and smelled decent. Those friends and family.
And that was it. I think I was able to hold the voice longer when I was in class. You can see like it wasn't as good right after I started. But yeah, now my voice is dying. Enjoy. I thought this was hilarious, by the way. After he was like, "Zach, did you even take this seriously?" And I was like, "Yes, I did." And he was like, "Really?" He's like, "You can answer this, and it won't affect your grade at all." And then I was like, "No, not really." He was not happy, but I got an A, and that's what matters.